Thanks, Ben.
Hey,
Hello, Jessica. I'm calling to order the regular meeting of the Elk Grove Park District. Today is August 27th, 2020. Kathy, can I have a roll call, please?
President O'Malley,
Here.
Commissioner Cook,
here.
Commissioner Wells,
Here.
Commissioner Bianchi,
Here.
Commissioner Sauer.
Here.
First order of business is we have to approve the minutes of August 13th, 2020, the Committee of the Whole meeting, and the August 13th, 2020 regular meeting. Did all the commissioners review the minutes? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
5-0. Public communication, any comments from the audience at this time? Hearing none. Correspondence. Do any staff or commissioners have any correspondence to share? Okay. Employee accomplishments. At this time, first I'd like to introduce Jessica Byrick. She's our dance coordinator who is going to introduce one of our employees that is being honored for 15 years of service. So Jessica, if you can come up to the microphone, please.
Hi everybody, I'm Jessica Byrick. I am the dance coordinator for the Pavilion Dance Center here at the Park District. And I am so proud and honored to recognize Jacqueline's 15 years of service here with us, Miss Jacqueline Schwartz, or Miss Jackie as her students like to call her. Miss Jacqueline has worked with us for pretty much half of her life here at the Park District. And I'm here, I could have written probably 10 pages about all of the wonderful things that Jacqueline is as a person, as a teacher, as a dance director, as a co-worker, and a team player for this Park District. I was able to condense a little bit, and not just to recognize her many years of dance. She's been here, I've been here for 8 years, and Jacqueline has been here as part of the dance program for 7 years. But she's been a part of many other areas of the Park District as well. So it all began in the summer of 2013 with Jacqueline Schwartz, who was hired in the dance department of the Elk Grove Park District's Pavilion Dancer as a part-time dance instructor. With her 7 years here at the PDC, Jacqueline has acquired a great deal of experience planning and implementing creative, safe, and educational dance activities for a variety of age groups and abilities, recital and non-recital classes, as well as dance company director. She is consistently prepared and without question volunteers to go above and beyond her role as dance instructor. She's also taken on the role of dance company director for both of our performance and competition-based companies. She's worked tirelessly in growing this program to 5 times its original size, and she now, this season, had overseen 38 company dancers creating and implementing a challenging and exciting curriculum that keeps our dancers on their toes. Our dancers look up to Jacqueline as a mentor and leader within our program. I consistently receive feedback from families regarding their satisfaction with her teaching and mentoring abilities. But Jacqueline's experience at the EGPD did not begin with just the PDC's programs. She was originally hired in April of 2005. Jacqueline's first position was with Pirates Cove, our children's theme park. She excelled in this position and began showing interest in working with more departments within the Park District, including the Pavilion Fitness Center, rental services, the Kids Club after school program, and our youth department as a camp counselor. So she really covered it all. Her dedication and commitment to Elk Grove's community and community-based programs is unparalleled. Over her 15 years of employment at the Elk Grove Park District, Jacqueline has made a large impact on our community. Her upbeat, positive attitude is contagious. Her passion and dedication to this community and its programs is remarkable. She has truly made a difference in each of the roles she's held here at the EGPD. I'm so proud to have worked alongside her for all of my years here at the PDC and look forward to continuing creating fun and exciting dance program for our community with Miss Jacqueline. Thank you, Jacqueline. You're truly one of a kind.
Yay. Come out.
Thanks, Jessica.
You're very welcome.
Oh, you want, okay.
Yeah.
So, I'm Jessica Schwartz. I love working for the Elk Grove Park District, which is why I've worked for it for over half of my life. Even after graduating college, I got a full-time job. I could not give up my work here. I love it too much. I love the people. I love what I do. I'm extremely passionate about the Elk Grove Park District, especially the Dance Center. I'm extremely proud of what Jessica and I have been able to accomplish over the past few years and the number of dancers' lives that I've touched and improved, and the love of dance that I've been able to share with our community. As Jessica said, we've grown our dance program from 2 dance companies to this year's 6. We're gonna have, those dancers in our dance companies will account for about 150 classes taken a week. So I'm really proud of what we've been able to do here, and I will continue working here as long as they let me, and I wouldn't be happy anywhere else.
Yeah, Jessica brought out a lot of your professional attributes and characteristics, but, you know, I probably mentioned this 5 years ago, but some of the employees haven't been here for your entire stretch, but pretty much this board has, and certainly the community should be aware of this. I mean, you are actually a perfect might be too strong, because nobody's perfect, but you're a great role model for the children that you are teaching. All the residents are coming through your program, because I can't say enough. You're friendly, you're polite, you're accessible, you're approachable. When you're walking just through the fitness center, and you're in our building a lot when it doesn't have to do with the dance program,
Feel like I look
she's
very
energetic. She's talking to other customers and other groups. So, I mean, everybody can pick up your spirit, and those are the intangibles that you can't create or you can't put on a piece of paper, but everybody should be aware of it. I know Jessica is, but the residents need to know that too, and so that's great on your behalf.
Thank you, Bill.
You guys want to brag about your program? How's everybody coming back with this COVID? How are you guys doing that?
I know you
Spend a
guys
couple
said you
minutes
were
talking
about
about.
registration and attendance. We have no problem with registration or attendance. We feel our dancers came back this summer to finish out our season from the spring. And, you know, even with all the social distancing, just dancing, we're calling it, requirements, our dancers were respectful, they followed protocol, and they were excited to be back. We had an overwhelming amount of dancers come back, and we're just excited to be able to share our love for dance and move and be together, you know, even if at arm's length apart.
Registration opens for resident families tomorrow, and
Yeah, you better come back up.
registration opens tomorrow for our resident families for the new 2020-2021 season of dance, and then Tuesday, September 1st is for our non-resident families. And I'll just kind of go off what Jacqueline said. We had a great return rate for our return to recital session that we conducted this summer. From June through early August. It was to give our 2019-2020 dancers an opportunity to kind of close the book to that season, come back for 7 weeks of dance, do a small scale showcase that we held here early August. It was really successful, as Jacqueline said. Our dancers, their families were all very respectful, cognizant of our new policies and procedures. Everybody wants this to happen. And it was such an emotional week for us to watch our dancers perform. We saw movement come out of them that we hadn't seen in a really long time. It really brought out something special for them. And for our families that are maybe not as comfortable returning in person quite yet, we still have an opportunity for them to follow along at home virtually with our live in-person classes in the studio, because we understand and we respect that maybe not everybody is ready to come back in person yet. So we've kind of got two options for families who are ready to return in person, and then those that maybe are still interested in the virtual learning.
Which is a nice segue on the virtual aspect. Do you, or maybe any of our coordinators, and Tiffany can address this, or Ben, do you feel like we should do more, or can we do more as a board when it comes to allocating some dollars either to Channel 6 or some of the equipment we might need, or the timing to help maybe create a couple more virtual programming, not knowing what COVID's going to do in the fall, and be ready for that instead of be more proactive than reactive?
Sure, of course. I mean, we successfully ran some of our follow along from home classes over the summer, as I had mentioned, through the June through early August session. We did have some Wi-Fi glitches here and there. So I think some improvement to the Wi-Fi would certainly help with that, but it's nothing that our families or dancers at home weren't already attuned to. That kind of happens across the board, and whether it was our Wi-Fi issues or potential Wi-Fi issues at their home, the IT and marketing department did a really nice job of creating a step-by-step list for those who are going to sign up for virtual programs or follow along at home, to ensure that everybody following along from home had all the tools and resources to help troubleshoot any of those issues that we may have had. So it doesn't account, majority of our dancers have returned in person. We had an 80% return rate and just 20% that either didn't come back at all, or we had a little over 10 families that did the virtual learning to follow along with what was happening in the studio. So I think people are ready to come back in person, and we're ready to have them. We've done all of the steps that we can to follow along with IDPH and CDC guidelines to ensure a safe environment, and we had a really successful 7 weeks over the summer. So we're anticipating that that will happen for us in the fall as well.
Okay. Jackie, can you spend a minute telling, this is the time to educate the public, a little bit how you grew the dance program? For those that may want to get into dance, I wouldn't know if it's your dance program is a cut, like you have to have a certain talent level, or is it all recreational? If you want to go to the next level that you're participating in the travel part where you're showcasing it, what's that take?
Yeah, what's super fantastic about our dance program here at the Elk Grove Park District is the variety of levels of programming we offer. So we offer recreational programming for the dancer who just wants to come in and take class. Maybe they take 1 or 2, or as many as they want, and there's no kind of, requirements there. But then we also offer performance dance company. That is a little bit more on the requirement side. They have to take ballet, some extra courses. They rehearse with me. That company competes. They have extra performances. We have another level that's a competitive company. They have even more time with me, even more class demands. All of our dance companies are audition-based. So we have our competition company. They were here last summer because we went to nationals. That was the anticipation this year, but things happen. We've actually introduced a new company this year for dancers who are looking for maybe a route into the professional dance world, whether that's teaching, learning how to get into being a choreographer or performer. So we're now kind of filling that need. So we've done a lot to allow anybody's interest level to kind of come into the dance program and find what they're looking for, which I think is really unique here for the Park District programming.
Neat. Commissioners, any other questions? Anything we're missing, staff? All right, thank you. Thank you for your years of service.
Thank you.
Keep it up.
Thank you.
Thanks. I'll be back in 20.
Okay. All right, we're at recommendations for acceptance and approval. I need a motion and a second to accept the bid from Northern Illinois Fence Incorporated of Cortland, Illinois for the bid package number 2-32C, fences and gate, in the amount of $84,400 for the Fox Run Clubhouse and Maintenance Facility Project.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion from staff or commissioners?
Ben, was this the one where we had a no bid from anybody? And what did they originally budget for this? Off the top of your head.
So this was the one where we actually received 2 bids for the fencing, and we threw them out because there was things that it was a miscommunication on the CM and the bid documents. There was the fence, and so this part of this is the fence that runs along Lumber Road. They missed 300 feet of it. So I said, I don't want to take an alternate, because they asked me, I said, I'd rather just bid it, just rebid it, so that's part of that. And then I also asked, what about the fencing inside Jeremy's maintenance garage? They didn't have that part of it, so I said, add that. And so that's why I had to rebid it. And so, this is the second of, there's still one more, we have an opening tomorrow, and that's for the seal coating. And we've gone out twice now with the seal coating and no bids. So hopefully, I'm keeping my fingers crossed, we get somebody or somebody's tomorrow for that. And,
That's late in the process though, isn't it?
yeah, it's okay. I mean, I still got to come back to you guys with the GMP price with Fred Quinn, so this will wrap all that up. And then I'll come back to you probably maybe the next meeting if they can get the guaranteed price to me.
And maybe it's word semantics, but we didn't throw them out. We actually excused them, correct? We released them to,
Yeah.
and we didn't
Yeah,
say.
I hold that right. The Park District
Yes.
holds that right. We didn't have to give a reason. I just gave a little more reason
Right.
than I needed to. But, for any reason, part of the
Yep.
bid docs, we can reject this.
Correct. Okay. The roll call itself, please.
Commissioner Cook?
Yes.
Commissioner Wells?
Yes.
Commissioner Bianchi?
Yes.
Commissioner Sauter?
Yes.
President O'Malley?
Yes. I need a motion and a second for the approval of the purchase of an ADA accessible 14-passenger bus from Midwest Transit Equipment of Kankakee, Illinois, in the amount not to exceed $66,541.
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Cook or any staff?
I just have a question for Commissioner Cook, because it came out of his committee. Does this meet all the expectations, requirements that you were the group was looking for?
Yes, we had met with the Cedar Bay Adult Center They had requested some time ago when we upgrade our next bus to get one that's more ADA compliant and a little more comfortable for them. The ones we have currently, I'll call them base models. The seats aren't really made for I guess older people, I'll call it.
Gentle
And
bones.
There's wheel wells in there, it's hard for them to climb over, where it's easier. So we went through some of the things that they felt were important to assist. One, this will have a wheelchair lift, so an automated ADA compliant for people with disabilities in a wheelchair will be able to go to these events. It's raised on the interior, so there's no stepping up or down once you get in, and there's no wheel well. It's got non-slip floor, grips on the back of the seats, additional security, walker storage, and then, like I said, just more comfortable, little wider seats, a little more comfortable seats. So, yes, it did meet all the requirements that they had requested on the upgrade.
I don't know if it's worth looking into, but a lot of studies have come out, and just for the safety of the seniors, and I think it's on their desire, I can't say for Elk Grove, but across the nation, they're talking about seat belts for some of these senior buses. So I don't know if that's an extra or it's something you may want to look into. It may not be
These
cost
all-
efficient, but
These all had seatbelts.
they do.
Yep, they have seatbelts, and then the additional hand grabs up high, so because a lot of them, even though they're belted in, I guess they have trouble staying in their seats. And to get in and out of the seat, it helps them get in and out of the seat by having the handles, grab handles. So we actually had, with the dealer, or one of the suppliers, brought a sample bus for them to ride in and comment on and sit in there and make conversation. So we had a very nice time with them. And I don't know if that's who we end up going with, but we got a lot of good ideas from that visit. So yes, this meets all those requirements. And although the seniors asked for this, and obviously it's in our fleet for anybody to use, but it'll be the one the seniors will, obviously will want when they're going on a trip. So.
Any other comments or questions? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Wells,
Yes.
Commissioner Bianchi,
Yes.
Commissioner Sauter,
Yes.
Commissioner Cook,
Yes.
President O'Malley.
Yes. Tommy Cook coming home from the seniors. Committee reports, capital projects, Commissioner Cook.
Okay, we had committee of the whole
Got a bus.
meeting. Committee of the whole meeting, which you can go in more detail, but we talked about a comprehensive master plan for our next year, 5-year capitals. Had some good discussion with regard with our Hitchcock and Design, who helped prepare the master plan. And we're gonna take those discussions from tonight and visit again with the board to add or delete any other items or update any other items on the 5-year plan that we would like to see changed, and then get that in for final approval. A lot of good discussion, and it's gonna give us a good blueprint for the next 5 years on things that we hope to accomplish. The Haddendorf Osland project over at the Haddendorf Center is about to begin. I know some residents have seen some fences, and I got a couple calls wanting to know when they're gonna get started and when we're gonna be completed by. Tim has promised it will be done in October, and we should be starting any day on that project. For those that haven't been following or maybe forgot some of the things we're gonna do at the park, we're gonna add outdoor games such as bagos, table tennis, ladder toss, and right near the bocce courts. There'll also be improvements to outdoor fitness areas for age groups 13 plus, a music garden, a butterfly garden, outdoor chess and checkers, and several STEM stations. New features will provide for multi-cultural and multi-generational accessibility activities for families to enjoy in the park. There's also a walking path, will be identified airplane facts, and provide a loop trail for about 1/10 of a mile. There'll also be new landscaping and trees as part of it as well. And this is approximately a $500,000 project for which we got a grant for half of that. So great job by our staff in getting the grant. Those of also wondering over at Chelmsford at Marshall Park have probably seen the fencing up there. That project also waiting for the final permit to start the destruction of that property or that building, and that should, you should be seeing that happen in the near future, demolition of that project there. The Pavilion Water Aquatics Lagoon feature is just about done, should be completed just after Labor Day, and we'll be able to enjoy that. It looks like a pretty cool feature that they've added there. And I think those are my top items for updates. And this is my report.
Any questions for Commissioner Cook? Thank you, Tom. Finance Committee, Commissioner Sauber, please.
Okay, as of July 31st, 2020, the corporate fund had all expense categories under budget with the exception of insurance due to unemployment claims. Net revenue year-to-date is $2.12 million, which is above budgeted, the budget of $1.37 million, and above last year's $2.08 million. Rec fund, all expense categories are under budget. Net revenue year-to-date is $13,362. I wanted to make sure, Brad, I got that one right. Okay, it wasn't missing a K or anything. $13,362, which is below the budgeted $365,000 and last year's year-to-date of $709,000. And obviously, the impact of the response to the COVID-19 is the culprit there. Golf. In July, we had 6,048 rounds, which is our best July in the last 5 years. So thank you to everybody that came out there and went golfing. And hopefully we can keep the weather nice and continue that trend. All expense categories at the golf course are under budget. The driving range had a net year-to-date revenue of $69,338, something like that, and which is above budget of $55,437. And net revenue year-to-date for the golf fund in general is $114,000, which is above the budget of $47,000 and ahead of last year's $61,000. And that ends my report.
Any questions or comments for Commissioner Sauber?
Could you repeat that? Yeah, no, I probably couldn't.
Okay, thank you, Ralph. Committee of the Whole, that's myself. Tonight's meeting did start at 5:30, so it was an hour-and-a-half meeting. Commissioner Cook alluded to the board workshop that we had with Hitchcock Design, his 5-year action plan. We also had a small discussion on the Northwest Suburban Rec annual assessment. So that took care of tonight's August 27th meeting. The Committee of the Whole did meet on August 13th. All 5 commissioners and our directors, Ben, Brad, Tim, Kelly, and Tiffany were there. And on that particular night, we had a discussion of what we call our big list. And this is future capital projects that either want to be championed by a group of commissioners or by staff. And it just goes down the line talking about, you know, the availability of property, the availability of dollars. And then we just have certain topics. And I'm not going to go in every bullet item on what these topics were, but to give the residents an idea, we talked about the availability of St. Julian property. Would we be interested in building a performing arts center? Land behind the pavilion or at Chelmsford? Will we do any field turf and track amenities? Are we still all in favor of open land acquisitions, which we always are? Morton Park, which is off of Brentwood, will we add any amenities there? Clark Park tennis lights, what we can do, can we bring lights there? A major discussion that we did end up moving forward on, and we're trying to work with the Elk Grove High School on getting some lights over there on their tennis courts. Is there room for a Pirates Cove expansion? Is it warranted? Can we update the Pirates Cove rental area? What's the latest with Udall Dog Park, and will we move that up? Discussion on 140 Lively roof. It's an expensive roof project. Do we do it this year? Do we wait a couple of years? Do we see if we're going to sell that building? Is there other places in Elk Grove that we can move staff? Fox Run irrigation perimeter heads around the greens. Pavilion Aquatics locker replacement. Administration building roof here at this building. Do we update Rainbow Falls picnic area? At what point do we look at our driving range, which does help increase the profitability of the golf course? Do we do any improvements there? Fox Run stream and pond bank stabilization. At what point do we go wireless and keyless to our facilities? When do we look at the Mead shelter replacement, Olmsted Park shelter replacement, A lot of commissioners and staff were interested in purchasing a portable blow-up screen, especially in this era of COVID. And then last but not least, and it'll always continue over the next 12 months, what are we gonna do with our Chelmsford property? This is the property we bought from the village for $2 million. So we've got a lot of ideas on that. So that was the committee of the whole meeting for August 13th. Any comments or questions for myself? Athletic Committee, Commissioner Biedke.
On Tuesday, August 11th, we had a president's meeting. Unfortunately, I had to go into work at the very last moment, so I'm going to let Commissioner Sauter talk about that meeting.
Yeah, well, we had, first of all, thank you to Brad Wassel and Brian O'Malley for presenting, and Tiffany and Ben were there, and thank you especially to the presidents of the athletic programs who attended. It was a very well-run and hopefully very well-received meeting. No big issues. A lot of it centered on our response as a park district to dealing with the current pandemic we're under, and you know, the rules, additional rules and safety rules and regulations that we have to adhere to. We also talked through getting ready for the budget process, which is now. So, and then we went through some of the other ins and outs of the relationship between the programs and the park district staff and the participants, and that was pretty much it.
Any questions
Is
for
there
that?
anything
I have
else, Tiffany?
Yeah, I have
that's
one.
important in that?
No, we just discussed marketing and promotion as
Oh,
well.
marketing and promotion is another good one, yeah. See, I knew I missed something.
I just had one, Ralph. What was the attendance like out of the associations themselves? For a long stretch, we had a couple athletic associations not being represented, either through neglect or they felt it wasn't important enough, and maybe that's when we were meeting quarterly or at least 3 times a year. We're not meeting as often, so how was the actual attendance, and are we making sure they give valid reasons why they're not there? If the president's not there, are they sending somebody
Well,
else?
hold up on that one because everybody was there, right? Except
Yes.
for,
Okay.
yeah.
the only concern I
Even
had,
Effie went on via Zoom, so.
She was
Yeah.
virtual.
there was a concern for that, so Ben opened it up virtually.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
So you're not off the hook yet, Ralph. So can you give an update on football and cheer? I know the season is not
Well,
happening.
football, so the only update on football is, there's gonna be no fall season, obviously, for the football. Now, cheer's ongoing and, heading, yeah, honestly, I don't even remember if they're wrapped up or not.
Do you want me to talk about it?
Yeah, could you?
Okay. So cheer is able to continue with their season, so they are currently practicing. They're getting ready to transition to 2 practices a week at Hattendorf. They compete through IRCA, so they will actually be able to have a modified competition season. It's basically gonna be them competing to a panel of judges with no spectators, and they'll be live streaming the competition, so cheer is a go.
Very good. Before you leave there, do you have any update on softball? Did they have tryouts or is anything going on with softball?
So softball, we do have teams in fall ball. It's through Roselle, and I do not know the exact number of teams. I believe we have 5 or 6 teams competing in fall ball. I'd have to look at my notes.
That's cool.
And anything else?
That's good. No, that's good. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay, and then back real quick,
Yep.
back to football. I know right now there's a lot of people working on different approved activities for football training type things, so stay tuned on that. I know I've got to talk to a couple of the other coaches for flag, and we were talking about doing something.
And that, I heard
free.
that, yep.
Yeah, and just to keep the kids interested and active and on the field in a safe way. And that was it. Okay.
Very good, thank you. Basketball registration is currently going on, so if you're interested in playing basketball, please sign up at the Elk Grove Pavilion or at Haddendorf. Is that still open for registration? Nope. So please go to the pavilion, or you can do it online. You don't even have to leave the house. You can register online at your own home. And finally, travel baseball had their tryouts, and they're getting ready to post and begin their 2020-2021 season. And that concludes my report.
Talking about the sports associations reminded me, I did ask the question, and between Brad and Brian and yourself and Jeff, you can mention it after we get off air, but just want to know whatever came about through these non-resident and these teams that were at our fields. You know, if we ever investigated that when we drive past certain parks and there's 22 teams and they're both full of non-residents. So I'd like to know at least how that played out and what your investigation found.
So my discussion, talking to people, and Ben, you can go on because I could be totally off on this, but my understanding was we had a conversation. I was under the belief that these teams had registered and the park district staff had assigned them field locations. And so, but I'm sure there was other teams that snuck in, but so.
So I think I put it in a Friday update to you guys. I actually went on a Saturday and drove around a few times, a few Saturdays. I did notice some teams that were renegade teams. We only have 2 parks that are actually by permit only, that's CAF and Lions. So, you know, because it's a public park, we don't really get into kicking teams off if there's, now if it's organized games and we're seeing repetitive, we'll probably go and approach them. But if they're practicing, we let it go because it is an open public park. And like I said, the only 2 fields we require permitting is Lions and CAF.
Agreed, and these were actually the ones I'd seen on a regular basis were Appleseed and the one at Clearmont, and they had umpires, so it was a regular game. And again, you're right, first come, first served for that, but I guess my point even back then was residents first. So obviously when 24, you know, kids can't even go there and kick the ball around or toss a football around because the park's being dominated. And at some point, we got to go back to policing our parks for residents first. That's all.
Yeah, and so I did ask Jeff and asked if there were customer service, if we were to get phone calls, people complaining that there was a team habitually out there, we would put a stop to it for sure. Because then it would affect the residents' ability to use the fields.
And that has happened in the past.
Oh yeah, I mean, if we find, and residents are pretty good about letting those teams out here every Saturday from, you know, noon. We don't get that. We didn't get any responses like that. So we think they were isolated where teams were trying to squeeze in games before their tournaments because it was such a quick ramp up for travel baseball this year.
There's no liability with that. I mean, they have an umpire, someone gets injured, because usually everyone that participates, they sign a waiver at registration, right? No?
You know, it's an open public park, so no.
Okay.
And historically, it's always easier to complain to a commissioner than it is to staff, so
Right.
I get it. Golf course committee, Commissioner Walls,
I
please.
have one question for Bob. Did the travel get all managers? I know I was.
So
seeing
no,
something-
that's a good point. Thank you for bringing that up. So unfortunately, the 11U, they had an individual, an Elk Grove resident individual that was in another program that was going to come over and bring some of the Elk Grove residents. And unfortunately, at the last moment that fell through. And then also, they thought they had an 8U coach, and that didn't go through as far as I know. But then I also believe that there was like 20-some kids that tried out for 8U. So there's talk about making 2, possibly. I don't know if that's happening. We'll find out Friday at 5 o'clock.
So they are going to carry an 8U team and they'll work on figuring out a manager?
I do believe that. Tiffany, do you know anything more on that?
That's crazy.
I do not know any more than you know.
Okay, so yeah, I don't know. I guess Friday, tomorrow at 5 we'll know.
Okay.
That's cool. It cracks me up, that's all. Youth committee, golf course committee, now you, John.
Thanks. Fox Run Golf Links and the Fox Run Driving Range are on pace for another record month in August, following up your record of July. There's a club championship on September 19th and 20th. That registration is open currently. Call the clubhouse, and I think it's just the clubhouse to sign up for that, right? Yeah, so call the clubhouse or visit the clubhouse. Elk Grove High School girls, Elk Grove High School boys, and Conant girls are playing meets at Fox Run. You'll see the high schoolers out there, which is great to see. I did hear yesterday that Illinois State canceled all state meets, which I thought for sure golf would go through, but it is what it is. But I heard there's going to be some like micro regional tournaments. And I think Fox Run was in line for at least one sectional, maybe, or no, one regional, and I think even a sectional. So hopefully the powers that be have seen how good of a job we've done in the past, and we can grab maybe a play-in or the actual, regional tournament as well, so. If you haven't been out there, if you have, you're certainly aware that we're starting the renovations. The temporary trailers have arrived. We're working on getting that to be moved over sometime, probably mid to maybe late September. Have we honed down on when the bulldozer starts? Or we're still up in the air on that?
So the plan is the week of September 8th. So right after our groundbreaking, they're
Yeah.
gonna start. We have a demolition permit, so we're good to go.
Yeah, it's exciting. The other thing too is I'm really hopeful for other sports in our town and other things, but for golf especially. Golf's made a huge comeback. I mean, Fox Run isn't the only course that's super busy, but I'm hopeful for a very light fall because the people that I see out there, they don't want to give up. Like some of us feel like it's the only thing we can do at this point. So hopefully we have a nice, late winter and we can be playing out there in December, because every year when we have a good day, I get the call from you or the email saying, hey, why aren't we open at Fox Run? And we've had some legitimate claims for, turf tear and whatnot, but I think this year we might have to rethink that. I really do. People are clamoring to get out, so. That's all I have unless anybody else had any questions.
Grand opening or ribbon cutting
September 8th.
at 5:30?
It was 6:30.
5:30 to 6:30.
At 5:30,
5:30. That's open to the public, correct?
yes.
Yep.
You got all your RSVPs, Ben?
Do I?
Ben? Okay, just making sure all the commissioners and whoever else you invited, that's all.
Yeah, I don't have any.
All right, I'm good. Any other questions or comments for John? Thank you. Youth Committee, Commissioner Bietke.
No report.
Adult Center Committee, Commissioner Cook.
Yes, the Sheila Ray Adult Center is going to be reopening on Tuesday, September 8th. So they've been shut down and inactive for a while here during the COVID crisis. To kick off it on September 3rd at 5 p.m., they're going to have a kickoff little concert with, it's called Kickoff Concert. It's Thursday, September 3rd from 5 until 6. It's the Don and Rod duo. They're two seniors who are singers at the center who are pretty good. And you might want to stop by and enjoy. So they play a variety of oldies. You need to pre-register as required, but the tickets are free. So $0. And that will be at Sheila, September 3rd, Sheila Ray Center. I just want to mention the center will be opening and they will have the CDC guidelines posted there and requirements. The key ones are you will have to wear a face covering, will need to be worn at all times inside the building. They'll have areas where you sanitize your hands, obviously. Basically, you'll go there for your program and leave, so you can't hang around. There will be social distancing as well. And you need to register for each program that you wish to participate in. So if you got the buzz or it's online, you can see the buzz. It gives you some of the guidelines.
Yeah. I just wanted to say that it was mailed to everybody yesterday, so if you remember, you would have gotten it in the mail hopefully by the end of the week or early next week.
Okay, I wasn't sure if I know we cut back on mailing, not as frequent, but this did go out.
This one we did mail out, because we
Good.
wanted to make sure that everybody was registered, and, there's so many new guidelines right now, so.
Fantastic. So I won't bore you reading through it. A lot of good programs, events in September. You have a chat with a lawyer. You can schedule and have a legal consultation for free to members on September 15th or October 20th. Also, I want to remind the seniors, if you're 65 or older, you can apply and get a free track pass at the pavilion. So that's another great amenity that we offer and that you can take advantage of. It's a no cost. And I believe that ends my report, guys.
Any questions or comments for Commissioner Cook? Thank you, Tom. We're at old business. Do any staff or commissioners have any old business they'd like to discuss at this time? New business. I need a motion to adopt ordinance number 412. This is an ordinance authorizing and directing the destruction of verbatim audio recordings of certain closed session minutes of the Board of Park Commissioners of the Elk Grove Park District.
So moved?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Bianchi?
Yes.
Commissioner Sauter?
Yep.
Commissioner Cook?
Yes.
Commissioner Walls?
Yes.
President O'Malley?
Yes. Next, I need a motion and a second to adopt the Resolution 20-07, a resolution ratifying the recommended assessments by the Northwest Special Recreation Association for the calendar year 2021.
So moved.
Second?
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Sauter?
Yes.
Commissioner Cook?
Yes.
Commissioner Walls?
Yes.
Commissioner Bianchi?
Yes.
President O'Malley?
Yes. We're at payment of bills. I've got 3 dates. August 13th, 2020, P-cards in the amount of $117,027.53. August 13th, 2020, in the amount of $71,749.18. August 20th, 2020, in the amount of $181,110.02.
81
Well,
or
no,
18.
that's not, yeah.
If you guys will look at the actual summary of bills presented, there was just a typo. So it is $181,110.02.
Which,
Oops, I'm sorry.
that's not what you said.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is.
It is what I
That's
said,
what he said, that's not what-
181,000. It's not what's written down there, but the right amount is 181,110.
Gold star for you.
So moved.
A plus. Second.
Any discussion regarding these 3 sets of bills?
Sure it's on.
Hearing none, roll call, please.
Commissioner Cook?
Yes.
Commissioner Walls?
Yes.
Commissioner Bianchi?
Yes.
Commissioner Sauter?
Yes.
President O'Malley?
Yes. Next up is adjournment to closed session for the purpose of conducting the semi-annual review of closed session minutes per 2C1. Before that, we will reconvene to an open session after that discussion. Our next meeting date is September 10th, 2020, right here. I need the roll call. First, a motion and a second for adjournment to closed session.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Walls?
Yes.
Commissioner Bianchi?
Yes.
Commissioner Sauter?
Yes.
Commissioner Cook?
Yes.
And President O'Malley?
Yes. This meeting is now adjourned. Thank you, everybody.